Get ready for an unforgettable journey on this episode of Big Duke Aviation. We're taking off to Johntune Airport right in the heart of Nashville, Tennessee, where flavor takes flight. We'll dive into the smoky, savory world of dry rub ribs that will have your taste buds dancing. That's right, we're talking about a visit to the legendary Peg Leg Porker and an exclusive chat with the award-winning owner and pitmaster, Carey Bringle. So buckle up and prepare for a ride that's as delicious as it is fun. This episode is sure to leave you hungry for more. Hi, I'm Chris, a pilot, a network cameraman, and a photographer in the Air Force Reserve, and I love to fly and get barbecue.
Hey, I'm Matt. I went from college to a semi-professional skater working with the Pro Tour. Now with more than 14,000 hours, I fly for one of the legacy airlines in the U.S.
Flying is a great way to travel, and of course to get some good old barbecue. And don't forget to subscribe to fly along with us on future adventures with Big Duke Aviation. When you've got Nashville on your mind, but call Oshkosh home, the only way to make it there in time for lunch is to kickstart your day bright and early. For this adventure, we were up at 5 a.m. ready to roll. By 5:25, we were already at the Oshkosh Airport, excited for takeoff. After a quick flight brief, Matt gave 44327 its pre-flight check and rolled it out of the hangar. There was some light drizzle teasing the skies to the south, but nothing serious enough to dampen our spirits. Our route for the day, south from Oshkosh, zipping through the Chicago corridor and then straight down to the Johntune Airport.
Ground, good morning. Aero 44327, Pac Air with Charlie, taxi runway 9 for departure.
Aero 44327, Oshkosh, ground taxi to runway 9 via Bravo, and verify you had Charlie.
I have Charlie and 9 for departure. And Tower, good morning. Aero 327, ready at 9 for departure.
Aero 44327, Oshkosh Tower, proceed on course, runway 9, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff 9, will be heading out south on course, Aero 327.
Roger.
Finals clear.
Pictures, props, good. Alright, ready to go aviate? Go. Alright, everything's in the green. Temp, pressure, and fuel flow. 60 is alive, 70, a little back pressure. And we're off. Gear up. Positive brake. Gears in transition. Gears are up.
There's something surreal about taking off at night or right at dawn. The world feels different, quiet, still. You push the throttle forward, feeling the raw power of the engine surging beneath you. The runway lights blur past as the plane picks up speed. A pulse of adrenaline kicking in when you hit rotation. The nose lifts, and suddenly you're leaving the earth behind, slicing into the deep darkness of the sky. Below, the glowing grid of the city lights stretch out, shrinking as you ascend into the night.
Milwaukee approach, good morning. Aero 44327, 3,510 southeast of Oshkosh.
Aero 44327, what do you need?
Flight following, we're headed to Nashville 7.
What's your type of aircraft and what altitude?
Currently 3,500, a PA-28R.
Are you going to go direct there, or are you going to go across the lake, down the shore with?
Yeah, we're expecting to go down the shoreline. We'll pass through the VFR corridor.
44327, squawk 6504.
6504, Aero 327.
44327, radar contact 10 miles southeast of the Oshkosh Airport, altitude 3002. Area of light precip starting about 12 o'clock and 10 miles, about 20 miles in diameter. And there's some moderate precip to the east of that.
Flying the Chicago VFR corridor from the north is like threading a needle between the steel giants. As you slip between the towering Skyline and Lake Michigan, it's a pilot's dream. The iconic Willis Tower looms to your right, the shimmering blue of the lake stretches endlessly to your left. The view is electric. It's a breathtaking ballet between urban sprawl and open sky, and for those few minutes, You're not just flying over Chicago, you're part of it.
Yeah, one of the neatest things about that corridor, though, is it's there. But it used to be because of Miggs.
Well, Miggs is, what used to be Miggs is right there.
Yep,
I mean, that was such a cool little airport.
it was. So we're headed to Peg Leg Porker, Nashville, Tennessee, landing at John Tune. You've gone to the Peg Leg Porker before, haven't you?
Yes, I have been to Peg Leg Porker before. And so we got dry rub ribs.
Yeah. What
So
is
you
this?
haven't had? Have you had dry have you had quote unquote Nashville, Tennessee style? If that's a thing, I mean.
No, but
I'm still learning barbecue.
But when I make my ribs, I don't put anything on my ribs. I put a dry rub on my ribs.
We're
and then,
meat purists, as it were.
So,
We don't
yeah, I
even.
guess.
You and I don't even hardly like to put sauce on anything. So the dry rubs.
850 Charlie Golf, contact Chicago Center, 135.75.
It's instead of a sauce,
5.75.
it's
Hold on,
the rub.
like I've had dry rubs on like wings. You know,
Yeah,
like
well then that's
buffalo
what it
wings.
is.
So,
It's,
but
yeah.
but
So
like,
take
is
that,
it a peppery? Is it a like,
again? I don't. Since the first time I was there was a year-ish ago, I don't remember. I remember they were really good. They're really high quality, they're tender, and all the good stuff.
one thing I did hear and I read about is they only do pork, and
Right.
they don't do brisket. Peg leg porker. I get it, but I mean, like, you go to a barbecue
They have a
shop,
pig. A lot of barbecue places have pigs,
Right,
cows, etc.
but a lot of places they do the assortment. They got sausage, they've got brisket, they've got
We all know how I like my
ribs.
brisket.
Matt does like his brisket, but they only do pork, which I think is kind of cool. I mean, you'd be good at one thing, right?
Right? Yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Nope.
And you know, I'm a master with like communication and everything too.
Oh yeah, you're the best.
I called ahead this time. Yay!
That's what everybody wanted to know. But so it is open.
It is open.
100% we're
100%. They're really excited to have us. And the other thing too is she told me that they're really excited to show us their bourbon.
You
So,
are the bourbon guy.
I am
now
the bourbon
you're
guy.
teaching me. You are the bourbon guy, so you are going to take the lead on this. Again, we have to remember, as excited as we might get about some really good bourbon, we cannot have a sip of it because of what we're sitting
I mean,
in.
technically one of us.
No. Well,
I mean,
yeah, we're not playing that
technically.
game.
I know we're not going to
What
play
if I
that
have
game.
to take over?
We will have.
What
have
if the
a
worst happens and I knock
Right.
you out
Right.
because I can't stand listening to you anymore?
Right.
I have to take over.
Mama said knock you out.
Right.
So you said they got something special here too.
Well, special. It's different. For me, it's different.
I mean, the Bogarts had these phenomenal pickles.
And we don't want to keep going on about pickles, but they were really good.
They were really good.
So again, here, the last time I was there, they have something that they call Kool-Aid pickles, and they weren't ridiculously good, but they're different.
There's something that's
And I like to always try something a little
Right.
bit different.
Right.
I love the staples. They're exceedingly important for a good restaurant, but if I see something on the menu that, a little something I can try that's different, I'm going to give it a shot. So I just want you to try 'em.
and they're cold, right? They're not
They
like
were cold,
Okay,
yeah.
good, because that's important. Honestly,
Well,
if
you
you're
need
going to have
to
pickles,
cleanse the palate.
yes.
Um,
Although I think I'm just going to do ribs. Although I should probably try the pulled pork.
we should.
Just I
We
mean,
should
you get
because we have to.
half rack of ribs, some pulled pork.
Well, I mean, let's try the menu, right?
But yeah, and then what's cool is they're actually going to take us on a tour behind the scenes.
That I'm interested in. I mean, I spent 12 years in restaurants,
Yep.
in kitchens.
Yep.
And so, but I've never been behind the line in a barbecue joint. So I'm going to be interested just to see how they run things and
Well, I mean, the big thing is the smokers, right?
why.
Like, do they have propane? Do they have wood? Do they have a combination? Do they have the big, wrought iron tube
right, yeah.
smokers?
Every place is different.
So anyways, we're on our way. As we did the flight plan and everything, we're on our way to John Tune. We are going to take a little fuel stop because,
The fuel and bladder stop because we learned that lesson last time.
yeah, so we're going to fuel up, bladder out, and we're going to do that at Davies County. It's coming up.
Half hour yet?
We have 27 minutes, so should be here
Stop
soon.
there real quick.
7210, home and approach.
And then on we go.
Off we go, and we should be in Nashville around 10 o'clock or so.
We landed in Davies County Airport, Kilo Delta Charlie Yankee, and couldn't believe our luck. 100 low lead was just $5.15 a gallon. What a steal! Oh, and also a huge shout out to Erica, the airport manager, who went above and beyond. Not only was the fridge stocked with cold soda and water, but Matt hit the jackpot when he found ice cream sandwiches in the freezer. This little FBO was a hidden gem, the kind of place that makes a pit stop feel like a treat. Once we were back in the air, it was just a quick 2-hour hop down to the John Toon Airport, but by then the hunger was starting to kick in hard. That familiar rumble reminding us that we've been flying all morning, and the thought of a good meal was becoming almost as exciting as the flight itself.
Oh, we made it!
We got some food.
You hungry?
We grabbed an Uber and headed over to the Gulch, where you'll find the legendary Peg Leg Porker. If you're a barbecue lover, this spot is an absolute must when you're in town. We even had an opportunity to sit down with the owner, Carey Bringle, for a Zoom interview, who shared his insights on what makes Peg Leg Porker a standout in the barbecue scene. And let me tell you, this guy is as cool as it gets.
Well, Peg Leg is a real West Tennessee barbecue place that just happens to be located in Nashville. We like to say we cook real Tennessee barbecue, and what I mean by that is not that ours is better than anybody else's. It's just we stick with pork and chicken at Peg Leg. We don't do any beef or anything else. We stay in a very narrow lane. And like you saw on the menu, there's very few items. There's our dry ribs, which is our signature item. We got our pulled pork and pulled pork sandwiches, and then we have a half a chicken, our yard bird. And then you got wings, and you got sausage, cheese platter, and all of that. But the core of ours is based around pork and chicken, and that's where a lot of other restaurants, have sort of tried to be everything to everybody, and a conglomerate of styles and a sauce from every region, and that's just not something that we've done here. We say, look, here's what we do. This is from our region. This is authentic. There's one location of Peg Leg. That's it. And, the sauce is our sauce, and we got a hotter version of the same damn sauce.
So what's this special dry rub seasoning you seem to have?
We've got a barbecue seasoning, and I have to explain it to people because it's very different. It's very low in salt and no sugar. And so what that season is made for is to enhance the flavor of any meat, not cover it up, not try and alter it, but enhance it. And or fish, or popcorn, or potato chips. It's a barbecue seasoning that's essentially like a barbecue sauce in a dry form. Now, when we do a butt, we use that barbecue seasoning as a rub, but it wasn't, it's not a rub per se by itself. And so what we have to do with the butts, because the seasoning is low salt, is that we will salt the butts with kosher salt before we rub them down with our barbecue seasoning. And then, so on the butts, you'll see that seasoning, it turns black, and some people will look at it and go, oh, that's burnt. Well, it's not. That's a delicious part.
That was the best part of that, of that butt we had, man. It was really good.
We don't, those butts come off the smoker. We wrap them in food service film, and we hold them until you order your sandwich. And so that meat is not pulled off that butt until you order your sandwich. And so that's the way that we ensure that it's the most moist and the juiciest that it can be, because as soon as you pull that meat, it starts to dry out and degrade. And so if I were to pull it and put it in a tray on a hot table, then it's going to start degrading immediately.
Well, you could do ribs and pork, but tell me about this yard bird.
That yard bird, it's funny. People who come in and order the yard bird, they get it every time. You ask them to order some ribs or see if they want a sandwich or a pulled pork, but they don't. They want the yard bird every single time they come in. We get our yard bird fanatics, and boy, that's what they want.
Award-winning pitmaster to award-winning bourbon maker. What else can this guy do?
I was always a bourbon fan, and and have been drinking bourbon since I was probably 18 or 21, you know. And I had a relationship, still do, with Jim Beam, where they're a sponsor for my barbecue team down in Memphis. And I had friends in the industry, and it was just something that was close to me and I was passionate about. Barbecue and bourbon go hand in hand. Most pit masters are bourbon drinkers, and you know, being able to sit around and cook for long periods of time, you need to do something. And so drinking bourbon seems like a good idea most of the time.
Wow, what a meal! After indulging in some incredible barbecue, we took a quick walk down the block to the local liquor store and grabbed a couple of bottles of Carey's very own bourbon. With our bellies stuffed and the plane's fuel tanks topped off, it's a wonder we even got off the ground. Kidding, of course.
Oh, yep, I just smelled barbecue.
No, it's like,
Yep.
you ever see people walking around like this?
Right.
Either they themselves or they ate barbecue.
Like you walk out of a good restaurant, every once in a while you'll just see me just kind of go, because you get that barbecue sauce,
right?
Yeah. So, what did you think overall? I mean, now that you've had it.
Okay, I'm gonna go right away with the pickles.
Right. Let's get them out of the way.
It was cool.
Right.
Something different, but I mean, it was like
I said, they're not it's just something different, you know.
just something a little different.
And like I said, you had to try them because they're Kool-Aid you know.
Well, it's Kool-Aid.
People don't think
right?
Kool-Aid.
I was waiting for the pickle to come through the wall, though.
Right.
You know.
Well, we didn't say it.
All in all, pickles were good. And I'm putting the pickles to rest. No more.
Right.
This isn't about the pickles. It's about the meat. And I got
an awful lot of meat.
God,
they really did. They went over the top on their generosity this afternoon.
Yes. Sarah over at the Peg Leg Porker took us behind the scenes and let us in back by the smokers where they're prepping all the food, where they hold all the wood, and it was just really cool to see the back house operations.
I worked in kitchens for 12 years, 13, I can't remember, a long time.
Right.
You know, in kitchens. But yeah, I always enjoy getting behind the line.
Back to the table, she, loaded us up with ribs, pulled pork, chicken,
jalapeno sausage,
pimento cheese. What was it? Memphis sushi?
Yeah, what they call their Memphis sushi.
Memphis sushi. So we still have Memphis sushi here.
You want some?
We didn't know not yet. Well, wait till we get a little closer. So
wait so we don't spill.
Yeah, a little bumpy right now. But so Memphis sushi is sausage.
Yeah, well,
deep fried.
It was a. Well, was it a salami or kielbasa? I don't know. It was good.
Yeah.
I think it was their. It was their homemade sausage. I think.
Yeah, it was their homemade sausage. And then
sliced into medallions and deep fried.
Yeah, deep fried, and then pimento.
With their rub on top of that.
The pimento cheese didn't go with that. It was just American cheese and saltine crackers with rub on it.
Yeah.
I tasted the sausage. It's good. But I can't wait to actually dive in and actually have a layer together.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
You know what I mean?
So then we had the pork rinds.
Pork rinds, yes. I'm a big fan of.
You really are, yeah.
I love pork rinds. But
pork rinds they were good with the pimento cheese.
Yep. And like I said, the way I've always eaten pork rinds is with pimento cheese. And anybody out there want to correct me, feel free. But pork rinds and pimento cheese, phenomenal little snack. The chicken, I gotta say,
she was talking up the chicken or the Yardbird,
Yardbird with that Alabama sauce.
You really did like that.
Oh my God, it was so good.
And again, I don't need the sauce and stuff all the time. It was good. Don't get me wrong at all. That sauce was great.
To try
but I eventually did.
Yeah.
But when it's cooked so well like that.
Yeah, chicken itself, skin was phenomenal with that dry rub.
Even though it wasn't a crispy skin, it was very, very good.
When we were in the back, seeing their pork butts, they make.
Yeah, I didn't get close up, but you're saying it's wrapped.
It's wrapped in like a 1/4 inch of saran wrap.
That's a lot.
And they cut it open like a surgery.
Like she said, pull it as
needed. They just pull it as needed, but it keeps all the moisture in.
Yeah, it does. It was very tender. There was a little sweetness to it.
Yep.
But as always, the bark is it's such good stuff.
I think the star of the show, for me, was the jalapeno
the sausage.
And the ribs.
That sausage was very good. Jalapeno cheddar seems to be the standard
Well,
fare.
jalapeno isn't really
But they're all
hot.
different. No, but each place does a little bit different
Sure.
level of jalapeno.
Sure.
Theirs was a little more jalapeno. It was really tasty. But yeah, those ribs today were fantastic.
They were. And
I didn't mean to take more of them, but
No, it's all right.
I did.
I got one.
You offered me the one at the end.
I did, but I got one. Two.
You had a couple.
I had two.
Those ribs, like I said, that's what I went for the first time. I'm going equal or better than
From your last time going.
from my last time there.
All right. I was
Honestly,
really
I think
impressed.
the ribs were better
Really?
this time.
I was just really impressed because I've never had dry rub ribs like that. Having that dry rub on top,
It's
it was
different,
good. It was, it was something that is not from what we've eaten before. It wasn't a standard that we've had before.
Yeah, and I've only had it at one other place, and well, surprise, surprise, I had it in Memphis. It's a Tennessee thing.
It is in Tennessee. Like we were talking to. You come to a place like Peg Leg Porker, you go there for the meats.
You do.
right?
Yeah.
And the ribs, the chicken, the sausage, everything, the pulled pork, everything that we had
due to traffic
was perfect.
I agree.
Peg Leg Porker, definitely stop to go to if you're in the Nashville area.
Absolutely.
Short flight if you're closer to Nashville. Longer flight if you live in Wisconsin.
Again, 8 hours of flying,
8 hours of
not
flight,
involving a tropical island or Europe.
right? Hey, 8 hours of flying on your logbook in a day, and you get a good meal. Not bad.
You're logging it.
No, you're logging SIC.
I'm not logging anything. Oshkosh Tower, Aero 44327, to the southeast.
Aero 44327, let's continue. You're going to be following traffic just on the left crossway now off the departure runway 18, and I probably can work 27 in.
Okay, we're looking for that traffic. We'll expect 27, Aero 327.
What a flight! With 8.2 hours logged and another amazing barbecue spot checked off the list, we touched back down in Oshkosh. After pushing 44327 into the hangar, we decided it was time to celebrate an incredible day of flying and barbecue adventures. Here's to many more.
We just had a fantastic day.
Incredible day.
8 hours in an airplane, almost 8 hours in an airplane. Fantastic food.
Best food I've
And-
had all week.
2 bottles of bourbon that we really do deserve to crack open and try right now.
As promised, we told Carey after our flight, because you can't fly and drink and fly.
We're responsible pilots.
Well, sort of. But anyway,
Sort of.
we said that once we got back to Oshkosh, that we would try some of his bourbon. Now, we picked up the white label, which
The
is the award-winning. The 5-year is the award-winning white label. And I also picked up the black label 12-year because
Signatured.
I heard it was like caramel.
Let's
Are you
crack
ready
them
to try
open.
it?
Let's
with
yeah.
or without ice.
Let's just take them straight.
Here's to the Peg Leg Porker.
Cheers to the Peg Leg Porker.
Thank you, Carey, for letting us come down and tour your restaurant and eat some incredible meat. I mean,
I'm coming back.
Definitely. Cheers, man.
Cheers. Yeah, that's award-winning.
Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed watching us take to the skies for some epic barbecue adventures, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more. Whether you're grilling up your own feast or flying in for the next big cookout, keep those flames hot and the skies clear. See you in the next one. Happy grilling and safe flying.